Bang!
We're back.
Great to be back. I must tell you, I missed it. Great to be back. Welcome to May.
Wow. May, baby. May 2nd.
May 2nd.
Like, what the month of April is a blur for me. I got nothing for April. like Jules was born on the 7th. Yeah. Are you kidding? What?
Yeah.
Mind blown.
Well, for me, I always say that business is a game of stamina. And this last week for me was from Sunday morning early. Jake and I got up and went to Kansas City. Jake, does that feel like 100 years ago?
3 years ago is more like it. Had a couple trips in between then. Great weekend. But don't adjust your screens because there is 3 of us.
Everybody's here. It's a big party on a Monday.
It's a big party on a Monday. Welcoming in May. It is. There's so much that went on that I'm going to recap from my trip. We want to do a daddy update. But Jake is here because the draft was incredible. Lots of surprises, lots of trades, but specifically some of Jake's friends. Imagine this. Jake is of the stage. Well, Jay, we'll go back to that. But some of his friends got drafted, which is incredible. People he knows, he hangs with. He is on Twitter and all of that stuff.
Players I coached, I recruited, everything in between, took care of. It's amazing to watch their dreams come true, watch their lives change, watch their families' lives change. And it's rewarding to watch somebody who put in the work, did the right things, get rewarded for doing those things.
Without a doubt. Shay, we'll come to that later. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, let's get to some wake-up music. We got lots of stuff to talk about. Stay tuned because we're going to shout out Distribution International, who I spoke to. We're going to talk about the JA Retreat, which Lori's here, and she will tell you I was as engaged for 2 days as I think I've ever been engaged. And then Saturday night was a whopper. Congratulations to all of our friends at United Way. We'll get deep into it. Let's wake up.
Wake up, everybody! Wake up, come on, wake up, everybody, teach a new way, maybe then they'll listen what you have to say. Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in there, no more about to thinking, time for thinking ahead, come on now.
Okay, first off, and Jake will validate this, so will Helen, the power of the huddle is just growing and growing and growing. I'm at the event Saturday night, all dressed up, feeling good, and a young man comes up to me and says, do you mind if I take a selfie? I'm a big fan of the huddle. Turns out he's one of the people that's in government in Broward County. Show me Greg Cheveria. Thank you, Greg. So when he took the picture, he said, you guys are doing amazing things. I sent him a note on LinkedIn. He sent me back. He goes, you're supporting the next generation of leaders. I admire you for what you do, which was like, wowza. So shout out, Greg. Thank you for the support. There's so many people that watch. Oh, and by the way, guys, Mark, you have a following. Jake, you certainly have a following. People really digging you. And then old dad comes in with
I love the humble brag right there. It's your show, dude. Like, you started the show. We got it. You're the patriarch.
Speaking of shout outs and all kinds of stuff, let's go back to Thursday morning. I spoke to Distribution International, Tiffany and group. What a fun time we had. Just really, really great. It's so great when an audience says, we know that we need to know, which the end of the show, we're going to talk about decisions. It is a personal decision to learn. And so shout out to them. Then Friday and Saturday, shout out to Lori and Stephanie and Adrina, all of the people that attended the JA retreat. This is a group of leaders who gave up their time to go, and leave that picture up for a second, Shay. Gave up their time, a Friday and a Saturday, to go and strategize, plan for what we're going to do next year. Shout out to Aiken for making me look like I should have a lot. Look at the size of that dude. He is so great. We'll circle back with him next Monday. But great leadership, great content, so much fun. And as Lori said, she's proud of me. I was totally engaged. It was a super fun time. And then many of these same people, Jennifer Starkey, to shout you out, flipped and drove home and went to the mayor's ball. Now, the mayor's gala is an annual event that has not happened in a couple of years. So this was like super crazy. The amount of people that were there was almost 900 people. Everybody dressed up. Been a long time. I hadn't worn that tuxedo in forever, but in no particular order. Top right, first person we saw was Chris, looking incredibly dapper. Laureen Chant, who is the CEO of the Health Foundation. She is our friend and our client. Bottom picture is Mary Beth and Teresa Fox. The middle is our friend Andy Cagnetto, just fantastic. But right dead center is the mayor of Broward County, a big fan of the Huddle, Mayor Mike Udine. Bottom left, at least the way I'm looking at it, Susan Renison, who runs Hard Rock and is so charitable and so great. Walter Duke, who is my high school friend, used to be the mayor of Dania. All the stuff you see happening in Dania, he's responsible for. And then top left is Lisa Lutoff Perlow. She is the CEO of Celebrity. And so it's just great. It was a lot of great people, great friends, great community lift. And we raised a shitload of money. So
yeah, definitely a room of heavy hitters, and not a surprise that when you get that kind of room of people that you blow the goals out of the roof, as Chris White says. Not surprising. You put the right people in the room and you have the right energy in there, good things happen. That's really awesome.
So anyway, enough about me, because it just was a wild week. I'm glad to be back. Good stuff happening all the time. But I do want to talk about Thursday night was the draft. The draft is when the culmination of years worth of hard work and dreams and commitment and persistence and all the things we talk. So Jake, take it away. Give us an update. And I hope that you are talking about our friend James Houston too.
Yeah, so there's a couple players who are obviously drafted who I don't have pictures with everyone. I couldn't find pictures with everybody. Maybe the coolest one of them all is a 6th-round draft pick, James Houston, which is a player I grew up with since I've been 5. Grew up in Weston, Florida, played in American Heritage, was drafted by the Detroit Lions. And
his mother, Sonia Houston, is the one we work with at the JA program. So bang.
So the community, is very proud of him. But like I said before, it's really cool to watch them work. And it's really cool to watch teams prioritize the right intangibles in players. You talk about it and you look at it, and it's not just talent. There's a reason that these guys got drafted far beyond just the fact that they're good at football. They're good people. They're team leaders. There's plenty of other talented players who didn't get drafted in this draft. And that doesn't, mean that they're no longer good at football or anything like that. Just the ones who go in the top 7 rounds are the best talented, and have the best character and have done it right for the majority of their time. So it's really cool to see. And I know, Mark, you've had an amazing amount of people drafted that you've touched. And
what's really cool is I think that, as cool as this moment is for them, now is when the work really starts. I was fortunate to work with a lot of people who made it to this point in life, but regardless of what you've done prior to get to this point, none of that matters anymore. Now it matters the work you put in from here to become a 3-year vet, a 7-year vet, to have a 10-year career. I mean, you look at a guy like Chris Thompson, who was a very skilled player for us at Florida State, was a mid-round draft pick, was a 3rd or 4th round draft pick, but went on to have a 12-year career, 4 different teams, because he went in and put the work in and day out. So while he wasn't a first-round draft pick, he wasn't considered the most talented. The work he did once he got there and got the opportunity earned him a long career inside the NFL. And there's tons of guys like that you'll see. So, congratulations to them, and excited to see what they do now with the opportunity.
Jake, do me a favor, and Shay, put up the picture. Tell who those people are, because there's some household names.
We'll go left to right. Left is Matt Corral, drafted in the 3rd round to the Carolina Panthers. Zach Carter is the 2nd pick, defensive end from Florida, went to the Bengals in the 3rd round. Malik Davis, undrafted free agent to the Cowboys, and then Dameon Pierce, 4th round draft pick to the Texans. But I think it's really cool because they didn't have control. A lot of these kids from Florida went through 3 head coaches or 2 head coaches, so they had to adapt to different systems and kind of worry about themselves a little bit and how they develop themselves and the skills, and not worry about their stats or things that they couldn't control. And I think that's really important to touch on, because sometimes you're in a role where you don't have a direct, correlation to the results and things like that. And that might embody you, and someone's like, well, this happened, so how did this happen under your watch or something? And so it's sometimes focusing on what you can control. And then when you get the opportunity to prove what you can, do it, and, do it at a high level.
Well said. Thank you for your input. Get after it. Today's a big day for you. I know that. So
yeah, big day. It's a big day for all of us. It's a Monday.
Let's go.
Right.
Thanks for joining us. So it is May 2nd. There's so much that goes on in May. I thought I would focus on it. The birthstone. Do you know the birthstone of May?
Turquoise? I don't know.
Emerald. Close. The flower of May.
The tulip.
The lily of the valley.
The lily. Okay.
The month of Mayus was replaced by May in Europe in the 15th century. Here's some cool facts.
Here's what I got for you about May. April showers bring May flowers.
Okay.
So you should be reaping the seeds that you've sown over the past 4 months.
So I love that. But here's an old joke. What do Mayflowers bring?
Pilgrims.
Pilgrims.
Yeah, Mayflower. I got it.
Okay, it's just crazy. I couldn't help myself, man. So here we go. First Saturday in May is World Naked Gardening Day.
No, thank you. It sounds dangerous.
It sounds prickly to me.
It sounds dangerous.
The second Sunday in May.
Mother's Day.
Right. The first Saturday is also the Kentucky Derby, which is
that's next weekend, huh?
That's next weekend. That's a big
that
day. The first Saturday in May is National Home Brew Day, so you can
brew your own beer.
The second Sunday in May. Tell me what it is. You got it.
Mother's Day. First of all, Lori Solarillo said that naked gardening sounds corny. Well done, Lori. Well done. I love
it. So great. So every month, if you decide to look at it, which is decision, we'll talk about that shortly. Every month, there's a litany of months. May is the month of, it's National Barbecue Month. Jake and I just had amazing barbecue. It is National Blood Pressure Month, which is something very serious. It's National Burger Month. It's National Good Car Care Month, which is a shout out to my friends at Midas, and thank you for all that positive stuff. It is National Mental Health Awareness. Now, this is serious. This is not, I don't want to make any jokes here. Naomi Judd died, and she died of mental illness. Helen and I were having a conversation like, what does that look like? That is deep, deep regret and sorrow and depression, and it is a major killer. So to combat that, it is also National Smile Month. So just remember, put those reminders in place.
It's the 2 best days of the month, though.
Well, I saved them for you. So go
May
for it.
4th. May the 4th be with you. May the 4th, right? So May the 4th. So it's Star Wars Day. Right. And then Cinco de Mayo. What? Like, there's any kind of drinking days involved.
Thursday.
We're in.
This Thursday, somehow, some way, there will be tequila in our future. But the best one of all, it's National Zombie Awareness Month. Okay. So to close out this part of the show, we had an amazing end to the Mayor's Ball. Taylor Dane performed 5 of her great hits in a really intimate setting. We got to meet her before the show. Thank you, Chris, for the VIP treatment. She coincidentally comes from my hometown of Baldwin, Long Island, which was outstanding. But if she was singing, she's singing here for the Huddle. So this is how you get to your prospects.
She rocked it.
So she came out. First of all, she's 60 years old. I love. She rocked it. She sounded awesome. And she got off the stage and basically did her song, Dancing with Everybody. But the takeaway for me, which is always messages, are don't tell it to my brain, tell it to my heart. That's how you win in business, is when you tell it to your heart.
That's when you get to somebody's heart. When you and so like tomorrow, I'm gonna have a whole strategy session with Jesse from Weston Jewelers, and the whole idea is to win the door, right? Like, forget about selling jewelry, forget about selling whatever it is that you sell. Win the call, win the door, win the entry point to somebody's life. If you win the first interaction with somebody's life by getting to their heart, you got them forever. And whether you're in leadership, whether you're in sales, whatever it is, building that relationship from the very start. But do you know what that song reminds me of?
No.
DT Riots.
Wow.
Being on stage at DT Riots and dancing in like the boxing ring stage that they had at DT Riots.
So, for those that don't know, DT Riots was a bar club that opened up in Pembroke Pines that was just conveniently on the way home for me. And it was a guy from Detroit, and DT Riots was the letters of Detroit mixed up. And it was a place, coincidentally, where all the Dolphin guys hung out. And I started bringing Mark there when you were like 5 or 6.
Yeah, so we talked about Take Your Child to Work Day last week while you were out. That was a part of Take Your Child to Work Day, was I spend the whole day in the showroom at the office, and then on the way home, everybody would go meet for happy hour, and I would get to dance on stage at DT Riots. So.
Those are amazing times. Thanks for remembering that. Before we get to decision, I'm a big affirmations guy. Every single person that I work with, it is mandatory to be listening to affirmations every day. This is one that I read out loud. I tell it to my heart. This is the first one for May. May is going to be full of blessings, prosperity, and abundance. Everything that I've been desiring is finally coming to fruition. I am going to continue to attract wonderful health, beautiful connections, and be financially free. I am so blessed and full of gratitude for what this month is going to offer me. Bang.
What an affirmation. Right to the heart.
So, when you see that and you read it to yourself, you look in the mirror, you tell it to your heart, amazing things happen. So the last couple of minutes of the show, and we will definitely go overboard, Seth Godin came out with a quote, which he normally does, which talks specifically about making decisions. But when it matters, we need to make our own decisions. And in making decisions, you have to consider a ton. So the consideration is now not making a decision is a decision, by itself. So I want your takeaway here, Mark Nudelberg.
Well, so just that there's a process to making decisions, right? And to me, whenever the first thing you got to do in your process, which I think he says is do the reading, to me, it's just look at the evidence, look at the information, get the information. And, when I spoke at the end of last year about the future of sales and said the pillars of success are technology and information, it's not hard to get information anymore. It's not hard to just go out and look for it. You just have to make the decision that you're going to get the information, that you're not just going to rely on what everybody else says. You're not just going to follow the crowd. When it's important to you, you have to make the decision to do the reading, do the research, get the information to help yourself make the best decision that you can make, which is hard.
One of the really cool things about the retreat was we did something called the SWOT analysis. If you haven't done one, you should. You can do it for yourself. You can do it for your company. It's understanding strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And there are decisions to be made. And shout out to Andrew Koenig, who is the incoming chair. He took hold of it and he goes, is this a personal thing? Is this a business thing? He was amazing watching him work. I look forward to spending some quality time with him today. But these are all the decisions. And one of the things that Jocko talks about is consider long-term effect of those decisions versus the short-term. Short-term, he speaks about like, ooh, that donut would taste great. Sure. But the long-term effect of that is not on point. It will not get you where you want to go. So, understanding strategic thinking versus tactical thinking, which is what our exercise was, and understanding that all of these decisions, but for me, the number one takeaway is ignore people that don't ring your bell. There are people talking loud. Look at me, look at me, look at me in front of the cars and the planes, and it's all bullshit. It's not real. People are not showing themselves with a face full of zits. They're just not doing it. So
I think another important part of that is show the work, right? Like one of the key pillars he put in there was show the work. If I'm hearing from somebody who can't show me their work and they can't explain what it is or how they got to that decision, I have a hard time trusting that decision. If you can show me the work you put in to get to the decision, I got no qualms about it. I might not agree with it, but at least I can understand it. And I think that's the important thing. And Kevin Splitt talks about the lean journey. All lean management is a organizational structure that you're able to apply to whatever business it is that you're doing. You can apply it to your life. You can apply it to your business. You can apply it to any industry. It's just a process in order to get information, problem solve, and create more implementation and growth as you continue to move forward.
No surprise that they're a really successful organization. They're paying attention to the clues. I love that. So, when you are thinking, and you said this, May flowers, whatever, April shower, that is do the work, follow the results. The decisions you make today, and those of you who know me, will not take effect for 90 days. The 90-day rule is fact. Google it, read it, understand it. What you do or don't do today will or will not show up in 90 days. That's a reason to kick your ass in gear. Let's go. It's going to be an amazing month. You know why? Because I think it. I think it and I attract it. Oh, great to be back.
Let's go.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. Friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this.